Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Adam, master trainer over here at Gainesville Health Fitness, and today we wanted to show you guys the 3 most common faults for the 3 big lifts if you guys are just starting on your fitness journey. So the first thing we wanted to dive into is actually the stance. So let's say foot width and maybe the orientation of the feet. There's a lot of chatter out there, and actually it really just boils down to you and your anatomy. What I mean by that is depending on how close or how far away your feet are, it's going to affect how your hips move during the squat, which is going to affect your ability to keep a nice safe spine. Let me show you what I mean. If I squat like this with my feet forward and my knees pretty close together, if I go down, my low back starts to round pretty quick, and that just has to do with how the anatomy of my hips. Whereas if I change my footing, I go a little bit wider and turn my toes out, you'll find that I can keep that straight back a little bit farther down, which is what I want. So know that if you're trying to figure out how wide or kind of where to point your feet, what I want to do is that you can use a post or something like this to help you, but I just want to get into a nice low squat and kind of wiggle your feet back and forth, and you'll kind of find a spot where your hips kind of open up most comfortably. That's your squat stance. So the second thing we wanted to dive into in terms of the squat is the knees. A lot of time if we're working with a lot of load on the body, the knees like to kind of drop in and get a little wonky as we're doing our squat. Now, anatomically speaking, this is a less than ideal position for the knees, so we want to make sure that we keep them in a nice, strong, and secure position. Easiest way to do that is as I'm doing my squat, what I like to think about is screwing my feet out into the floor. And when I do that, you'll notice my knees kind of turn out with them. That's where I want to be. My knees pointing in the same direction as my toes. The benefit of this as well is, one, of course it keeps the knees safe, but it also is going to help to turn on and activate those glutes, which is going to give you more power to get up to the top of that squat. We tend to see a lot of either dropping of the shoulders or maybe that low back starts to round as I stand up tall, and we really don't want to be in that position. A couple of really easy ways to try to avoid this are to think about as I come up out of my squat for my hips and my shoulders to rise at the same rate. If one's rising faster than the other, then that probably means that trunk strength and therefore the spine orientation has lost that integrity. Alrighty guys, so if we take all that information and put it together, our back squat should look something like this. Alrighty guys, once again, my name's Adam over here at Gainesville Health Fitness. Hopefully you guys can kind of take these tips, feel a little bit more confident in those lifts, and hopefully start putting a little bit of weight on that bar.